Hi everyone, my name is Shay, and if you don't already know my work, it's essentially for women to claim their feminine energy through honoring their masculine energy, understanding how to harness both of these and to be in that beautiful dance of these two energies that are within us in order to enhance our lives. More direction, more calm, more love, more play, just all of the more. I lead retreats in Bali as well as online women's workshops, guidance coaching, and I also have a podcast as well as this YouTube. So today's video is going to be a beautiful summary of masculine and feminine energy and the qualities that show up when they're both healthily expressed, when they're both not healthily expressed, so the shadow side, and also what it looks like when we haven't expressed them at all, so when it's imbalanced. And yeah, it's going to be like a kind of summary, a breakdown of this. So I'll start with masculine. Basically, we're going to... There's a baby crying in the background. My feminine part was just like, I can hear that. And I'm not editing out of this video for a reason, because the masculine quality is the ability to stay focused. So in that moment, I'm both in masculine and feminine. And this is actually key to say. I say this in other videos, but if this is your first video of mine, then know that it's never just one or the other. You can never purely be only in masculine. It's a dance of energy. Think of these as duality, dual energies, opposite energies, but they're like dancing and moving together moment to moment. So right now, I don't really have much of a script or much to say except for the notes about the qualities. I'm kind of allowing my feminine to flow. At the same time, my masculine is here with a direct goal for what I would like to put across and share. So do know that it's never just one or the other. We're starting with masculine, and we're going to first talk about the healthy qualities of masculine energy. Please know I'm not talking about man. When I say masculine, I'm talking about masculine energy. Both men and women have masculine and feminine. And if you're looking to harness and deepen your connection to your feminine, then that actually also comes from deepening your connection to your masculine. It's not about pushing that side away in order to get closer to your feminine. It's about embodying, understanding both, and then choosing when to bring one more in and allow the other one to rest, and then again, dance between them. So healthy masculine qualities are purpose and connection to your mission. When you feel aligned with your purpose in the world or in a task, then you are harnessing healthy masculine energy. As well as that, there's a sense of holding space and being very present. Think about the times when maybe a friend is going through something emotional and you're there and you're like a solid foundation, a solid rock. You're listening, you're present. You may not say any words at all, but you're just holding that. That's a very masculine trait, really beautiful, amazing masculine trait. Being committed and consistent. This doesn't mean that if you're in a relationship and you're not engaged, it doesn't mean it's not committed, or commitment is an energy. It's an energy of showing up and others trusting that we will show up. Being consistent in our actions, consistent with our words, consistent with our energy, not showing up like completely randomly. Following from that is integrity. So again, that's about being consistent with your word. When you are in line with your values, when you say something and then act in accordance with what you say, you're matching the image that you hold of yourself, but that others may hold of you as well if you've made a commitment to being a certain way. This isn't about being rigid in who you are. That's actually one of the shadows of the masculine. But this is really about being in your values, like living from your values, integrity. Being structured and focused. So structured in what you're doing, having, goals, lists, being able to plan and organize, and focused on something, being able to hold focus on a task, hold focus on a person, hold focus in the small sense and also in the larger sense in life. So that is the healthy, there's one more, providing and protecting. This is one of the kind of biological traits of masculine when it's coming through, especially in a man, but it's also like part of us as well, that ability to protect, to provide, right? So if you're expressing these in your life, man or woman, then you're expressing a healthy side of your masculine, the ability to think rationally, analytically, organize, plan, hold, be present, provide, protect, focus. That's all beautiful and needed for life. Now we're going to talk about what the shadow masculine is. So the shadow is like this. You're still expressing the qualities, but it's in a negative, or it's sort of like an unhealthy, not serving way. The baby's crying again. So essentially, this is like an energy that wants to be expressed, but somehow we're not expressing those healthy masculine traits. We're not expressing the focus. We're not allowing ourselves to set goals and be organized. We're not showing up with integrity. So when we're not doing that, the energy is still trying to get out, but it does so in this shadow, like twisted way. It's still trying to do it. So the shadow masculine, when it's not expressed as healthy, but it's being expressed, is when we're dominating situations. So rather than being like leading, focused leading, it's dominating, being so controlling. Think about the times where you're like over controlling a situation rather than holding a situation, rather than being focused in that, you're controlling it. There's like a rigidity, there's a tension. When you're being forceful, when you're being obsessive about something, so rather than consistent or committed, it's like too much on the other side. You're having this like obsessive mode of being. When you're not connecting with emotions, when you're numbing emotion, when you're just like not even going there, and it's like really being rigid and tense. When I say not connecting with emotion, it's like, again, that's essence of controlling or focusing so much on something that it's like you don't have that ability to hold yourself, because the masculine can hold emotion. Emotion as the feminine, the masculine holds itself when it's feminine's expressing in that way. Overthinking and overexerting. So when you're just like stuck in the mental space and you can't get out of it. It's like your masculine hasn't had a chance to in a lovely way, exert itself, exert the mind, exert that like thinking state that it likes to be in and work. If you're not doing that in a healthy way, then it's going to still do that, but in an unhealthy way, in ways that do not help us. But if you're like really using your thinking and you're using it in a way that is beneficial to your work and what you're doing, and then consciously do something to connect with your feminine side, you're less likely to be stuck in the mind, because it's like, okay, I've got what I've needed. I've, done the thinking. Now I can rest. So that's the shadow of the masculine expressed. Now we're going to talk about when masculine energy is not expressed at all, not in shadow and not in healthy. So really when there's like an imbalance, there's too much feminine rather. This doesn't mean there won't be, again, any of that shadow. It's often the shadow along with this imbalance being expressed at the same time if we're not expressing the healthy masculine. So the healthy masculine isn't being expressed, we're not allowing ourselves to connect with that for whatever reason, then we're going to be expressing an imbalance, so too much feminine, and also the shadow masculine will start rising. So the imbalance, where there's too much feminine but not enough of the masculine, then it's and again, this isn't like healthy feminine, this is like just too much of that energy, then there's no direction. You're unable to have any direction. You also don't have this connection to a mission or a purpose. It's kind of just like floating around in the world. This feeling of being quite flaky and almost untrustworthy. So you're not living in integrity. You're not like being strong with your word. You're not living up to your word. You're not, meeting that rapport, like developing rapport with people from showing up in this aligned way. When you're not present, you're very distracted. When you're talking to your partner and you're on your phone. Now, your masculine could be there maybe on your phone, but there isn't a presence in a specific direction. There isn't the ability of the masculine to be present with what's there at the moment, which is the other person if you're in a conversation. The fear of commitment. So fear of commitment is beyond just not being committed. It's like a fear, like this is scary, like I don't want to commit to anything. That's when your masculine is not being healthily expressed. Also procrastinating, right? So not getting the work done, just kind of like aimlessly, without direction, doing things to not really go and do the work that you need or want to do. And then being passive. So directive is a masculine energy. Penetrative is a masculine energy. But passive is like, yeah, well, you know what? Whatever you want. I don't know. Like it's, yeah, sure. Like it's not really, you don't get a sense of their energy. You don't get this essence of solidity in, what their desires are, what their wants are. It's very hard. I find it very, very hard to deal with passive people because I have developed this masculine trait of being quite directive. And this is the thing, a lot of us are afraid to be that because what have we learned? We've learned that to be direct is to be aggressive, it's to be bossy. So we shouldn't do that because people will see us as those things. But chances are you know someone in your life who is actually direct in a way that feels really good. They're direct with saying what they mean, not in a nasty way. They just say what they mean, right? You ask them, what do you want to do? They'll tell you what they want to do. It's so refreshing. You don't have to be in this guessing game and tiptoe around each other. And like direct energy can be some of the most beautiful energy to be around. And especially when that is also balanced with the feminine qualities I'm about to talk about. Again, it's not one or the other. It's just allowing both to play and move in situations where they're needed. Yeah, so that's the imbalance. So we're going to move on to feminine now. So moving on to the feminine now, we're going to talk about healthy feminine expressed. So starting off with the beautiful qualities of healthy feminine, which is so lovely, and playful is one of the qualities. When you're feeling super playful and light and vibrant, then you're allowing your feminine to be expressed, and it's such a beautiful quality. Similar to playfulness, it's that spontaneity. So this is also with the qualities of being flexible and fluid. Right? So rather than purely in the masculine being like super focused, direct, and like stuck on that path in that moment, it's the ability to be like, oh, I can't do that today? Okay, I'll do this. Oh, we have to go here now. Oh, that has to, like it's moving with the flow of life. If you think about feminine as water, it's often described as a watery quality. Water moves and flows where it needs to, and a stone comes in its way. Does it stop when a stone's there? No, it moves over that and then keeps going. So our ability to be fluid and flexible and spontaneous, not having to have plans or goals, but just going, I feel like doing this, that is really deeply feminine. the same time as that, being connected with your emotions. So when you can express and feel your emotions deeply, you are in your feminine. That's also related to being embodied. When you're in your body, when you're making peace with your feeling body, so feeling outwardly and feeling inwardly, emotions and physical body, you're in your feminine. That ability to just be in your body, feel it, like even the squishy, soft bits. It's movement that gets you into your feminine a lot. So beautiful dance practices is one of the greatest ways that is healthily expressing your feminine. Being intuitive. So this is key. If you're so focused on rationality and analytical masculine qualities too much, then you're unable to be also connected to your intuitive side. Rather than saying, what should I do? What is the best way? Tell me. Having to make decisions by like pro and cons list, and that's helpful when we need it, but also the ability to ask ourselves like, but how do I really feel? What's really needed here? That is healthy connection to your feminine. The ability to connect with your intuitive side. It's the ability to be in mystery, uncertainty, not being scared of uncertainty. The feminine is also deeply compassionate and non-judgmental. When you're able to just hold someone as they are showing up, or hold an idea and not just berate it and have a very harsh judgment about it, you're in your feminine, you're holding that. Being nurturing is a deeply feminine quality, whether you're nurturing yourself or nurturing others with love. And not doing it so much that the imbalance comes. So the imbalance that we'll talk about later. And one more is actually a few more. Being relaxed. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's like being soft, being able to relax. That's connected to melting, to being this like luxurious state. Being okay with doing nothing. And then being receptive. The feminine receives. So think about it like this. How do you let yourself receive? How much do you let yourself receive? If someone gives you a compliment, what do? Do you throw it back? Do you block the compliment from being received? Do you say, oh no, my hair looks terrible today. Oh, thanks, I just threw this on. Or do you go, thank you. Yeah, thanks, I love this. Do you receive it? When someone offers to pay for you, what do you go, oh, no, I'll do it, no. Or do you go, thank you. One quick note on receiving. You know what it's like to give, right? It feels amazing to give to others. Think about giving to another person and them going, no. That doesn't feel good, does it? You don't get that beautiful feeling of being able to give. So in order for the gift to be given, it needs to be received. And then you feel really good about giving because they've received it and loved it. Think about it on the flip side. If you're receiving, letting yourself fully receive, you're also letting the giver receive the gift of giving. It doesn't cut off that energy of them feeling that beautiful state of giving. So let's talk about the shadow side of the feminine. When the feminine is not being expressed healthily, so then she's just trying to come out in like this other way, then, well, let's talk about it in terms of emotion first. One of the shadows of the feminine is rather than healthily letting yourself feel, whatever feeling that is, whether it's anger or stress even, if you're healthily letting yourself do that, maybe you're going home, beating your pillows up, like writing down in your journal, letting it out, catharsis. If you're not doing that, then you could be showing up as a wild, crazy bitch woman. This is shadow feminine. It is not healthy feminine to be spitting venom at another person, to be creating chaos in your wake. No, you can still feel all of the emotions, but there's healthy ways to do that. So when you're in this crazy wild bitch mode, that's shadow feminine. When you're so flaky and flowy, so rather than allowing yourself in life to be in a fluid and flexible state, as well as in your masculine when that's needed too, then you'll be in this like overly flaky and flowy state where no one can really trust that you'll show up and do anything, where you can't even trust that you're going to show up and do anything. You're not decisive, and it's like, I don't know, I'm just like, it's again that like passive energy. And that's shadow feminine being expressed. Similar to that, it's when you're also not focused, unable to even like do anything with your mind, to plan, to organize. You're again in this like really ethereal, floaty space that your masculine is unable to come in and help you in that you're unable to listen to your intuition in that way. So you're unable to make decisions. And then also being so in that playful side, but not in a playful way where it's like helpful or in a situation where it makes sense, but being like so kind of spontaneous and light and this and that. It's like, it can be shadow when you're not taking anything seriously, where people don't take you seriously. That's your shadow feminine coming through. So let's talk now about imbalanced feminine, when there is too much masculine, whether healthy or not, just too much, that the feminine is not being expressed. Think about the shadow masculine. What happens is there's this tense and rigid energy. There's a controlling, overthinking state of being. Rather than being relaxed when you're not allowing your feminine to come through, you're stressed and anxious. You're rejecting your body. You're not even wanting to feel your body. You're numbing yourself out. When you're pushing back against other things, so not yielding, not being soft, not being intuitive, you're just like, it's like you're in this fight. When you're guarded, so not allowing yourself to receive words, receive actions, even receiving emotions, you've got this like wall up. So there you have it. That is healthy, shadow, and imbalanced expressed masculine and feminine qualities. If you enjoyed this and you want to stay up to date, please subscribe. I absolutely love seeing more and more people subscribing slowly but surely to my channel, because what it tells me is that this is needed. This work is valuable. This is something that people are really receiving that value from and wanting more in their lives. And I know that from the women I work with in circles and retreats and coaching, and who I'm already talking with, just in day to day. But to see it on a global scale, people who are subscribing to their channel or commenting, it's really beautiful, and it's encouraging for me to keep creating content. So I'll see you again very soon. Thank you for watching.